Welcome to No Apologies on Beck, where we are unafraid to speak the truth. I'm your host, Rick Becker. Our co-host, Lori Hintz. We've got a good show for you tonight. We are going to prognosticate.
Well, prognosticate means we're going to guess.
Because there is predictions.
Just to be fair, no one can predict the future.
We're going to Nostradamusize.
Well, and especially after 2020, nobody can predict nothing.
You can say anything and it's feasible.
Well, that's true. And actually, after 2020, everything is on the table, isn't that true?
On the table.
So
Okay.
I get
First
to start.
segment, it's you.
Okay.
It's all you, Lori.
Now, you know me. I'm an eternal optimist. So I am. I realize people think that that's not necessarily pragmatic. That's fine. But I also am a very faith-filled person. I have faith in stuff. So this is what I think. I think, first of all, I think in Georgia, I'm just going to start at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I think in Georgia that Loeffler and Perdue will squeak out a win. I think they will both squeak out wins in Georgia, keeping...
So you predict a 52-48 Senate.
Correct.
I see. I'm going to just tweak yours.
Okay.
I think Loeffler's going to win.
Okay, and Perdue is
by
going
the
to lose?
slimmest of margins, and Purdue is going to lose.
Interesting.
Which is...
Fine, still it's just a, razor thin.
Still 51-49.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think they're both I
hope you're right.
Yep. Okay,
I hope your optimism
that
prevails.
that is my first one. My next one I have graphics for, and the reason I do is because I was at Washington, D.C. I was in Washington, D.C. over the 12th of December. That picture that you see right there is Marine One and the decoy Marine One flying over the square there at Freedom Square in Washington, D.C. And these are pictures from the 12th of December because I'm going to predict that there is going to be not only a huge march rally on Wednesday, January 6th in D.C., I think it's going to be enormous. As you can see in these pictures, this is my favorite one. You guys see this one, Rick? Brown people for Orange Man, it says.
I love that.
I loved it too. There were some amazing signs that we saw here too.
That's so awesome.
And also that you'll see that the Chinese Americans were out en masse. These banners were literally an entire city block long. And they were standing by there, and I love this picture. This is a little family standing on that same block, and look at the little boy with the bullhorn. It's just fabulous. But these were all pictures from. These were the big screens that they had about every 2 blocks. There were 6 separate different protests, i.e. marches. The Stop the Steal March organizer, a guy named Ali Alexander, said, citing internal metrics, that he expects 1.5 million people to show up coming up on January 6th. This may be the biggest event in D.C. history, he had claimed. This was just kind of willy-nilly, last minute, everything got put together, and there were 6 different protests altogether. These pictures are showing.
I see a Gadsden flag.
Right, now this is this last one coming up here is my all-time personal favorite, because you have to read what it says. It says, "Stop cutting treats into smaller treats." And he was walking down the street. It was wonderful.
He's doing his own protest.
It was fantastic. Anyway, so the rally on the 12th was just phenomenal. And there were 5 different rallies that nobody really knew about until we had gotten to, we knew that there was something going on when my husband and I got on the plane in Minneapolis, and literally a guy walks past us and he goes, "How many patriots do we have on this plane?" And the whole plane went, "Ah!" They were all cheering, and I was like, okay, I'm among friends. This will be great.
So what? Tell me more, because I'm interested. Why do you think there's going to be what would be the purpose of the rally on January 6th?
To show support. And actually, honestly, the goal is, and always has been, a transparent, free, and fair election. And that is what's being protested. It's a Stop the Steal. It's a free elections protest and march. That's what it is. That's what people have been doing for a month and a half now, probably. They've been doing it every single Saturday in capitals across the United States. There were, the weekend when we were there were the Jericho March, the Let the Church Roar rally. Trump Women for Trump, Million MAGA March, March for Trump, and Women for America First. All of these were concurrent. They were all going on at the same time in different parts of the city. So everywhere that we walked, blocks and blocks, there were thousands and thousands of people, and it got no press, people. This is why you're looking at this and seeing like, really? I didn't see anything about that. Yeah, it got no press. And there were Proud Boys there, and there were police officers there, and there were far more patriots there than there were BLM people, especially during the daytime. They tend to come out at night and like cockroaches. So anyway, so that's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be a huge thing. And Trump himself, President Trump has tweeted twice. Once on the 19th, he said, Peter Navarro releases a 36-page report alleging election fraud, more than sufficient to swing victory to Trump. And then he put the link, and then he said, a great report by Peter, statistically impossible to have lost the 2020 election. Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild. That was his first tweet. And then he tweeted again this past Sunday afternoon, and he said, see you in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. Don't miss it. Information to follow. And I have yet to see any information on it, but I am telling you that there are people in North Dakota that are taking a bus already. They're getting a bus together.
It sounds fun.
I think it's going to be fantastic. You're like, yeah, but what does it do? It doesn't do anything. I can hear what you're saying in your brain. But I am here to tell, I know, I understand that. But the bottom line is that nobody's listening to us. You and I talked about it the other night. There's massive fraud. Everybody knows it. And this is just a way to protest it.
Listen, I think there are very good, valid reasons and positive outcomes from people gathering to do exactly that. So I'm not making light of it at all. I don't know that it will have any bearing on what happens over the course of the month with the presidency, but I hope it does, as you know. But I think that probably the biggest thing is that it keeps people energized, keeps them focused on positive things.
I'm getting to that
and
too.
Are you?
No, that's right. No,
it lets other people. It lets them know that there are other people that feel the same way.
That was the thing about the protests or the rallies that we went to that was so surprising. We didn't really know it was planned. We kind of stumbled on it as we got on the plane and realized, oh, wait a minute. And I started looking things up and realized, oh, there's all these things planned. And they had done it in the background privately with instant messages and social media rather than doing the broadcast it and invite everybody things. So there weren't the counter protesters there. They didn't know. They didn't have enough time to really mobilize. It was a stealthy thing. This time it's going to be completely different because there's going to be other folks there. So, all right, so here's my other suggestions. My other prognostications include, God forbid, a Biden presidency, new taxes, shuttered Dakota Access Pipeline, it's done. Green initiatives run amok, and a Kamala presidency far too soon. That's what I think. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to predict that I think President Trump will, even whether he is in or out of office, I think that he is going to begin his own major media company.
I agree with you.
You do?
Yes.
I do. I think that he's prepping for that, and he's exactly right in having to do that. So watch for Trump TV in 2021.
That was going to be one of my things as well.
It was?
Yeah. I think he's definitely going to do that.
I think he is too.
And it may be just all on its own, or it may be to help propel him for a second run.
Right. And I also think that SCOTUS, or the Supreme Court of the United States, will also be overturning some interesting statutes that have long been held, just because the balance on the court has shifted. So I think that's another thing that's going to happen. And I also think this. I think that Trump, our president, is not just a president and a leader. I think that he is a movement. He is a phenomenon. And I don't think that that's going to end. I think the fact that he has made patriotism and Christianity cool again is huge for people who have been quiet, sleeping giant, now awakened.
I think that's very, very significant. What you said, Trump is not specifically just a man. He is a movement. In other words, he represents a movement. And the movement is what got him into office. And that movement was magnified by what the left is doing constantly with demeaning the right, with silencing free speech.
Exactly.
They created Trump.
They did. They created. And so I believe that means the movement will continue in 2021 and probably get larger, just so you know. So
I agree.
Yay, that's awesome. Excellent. All right, your turn next. When we come back, Rick's Nostradamus prognostication.
Nostradamucations.
Right, stay with us.
Capital City Restaurant Supply is your one-stop shop for quality restaurant products for the large to small kitchens. Commercial-grade restaurant and bar supplies, limb game processing equipment, refrigeration, dinnerware, and smallware. We sell everything including the kitchen sink from trusted manufacturers for the chef and all of us. Open to the public since 1971, we are veteran-owned and North Dakota proud. Let us take care of your restaurant and home kitchen needs today by visiting us at 1414 Interstate Loop in Bismarck or on the web at capitalcityrestaurantsupply.com.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather, like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county.
Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
With 68 years of experience serving our members, Hometown Credit Union is the smart choice for all your banking needs in Colm, Ashley, Hazleton, and now our brand new location in Lincoln. We offer auto, home, personal, and agricultural loans, CDs, IRAs, safety deposit boxes, checking and saving accounts, and more. Be sure to check out our convenient drive-through ATM as well. For great value and small town service, look no further than Hometown Credit Union.
Beck News brings you real people and real news. Every weekday on KNDB, KNDM, and KRDK. Start your evening with the Dr. Duke Show at 4. Take a fresh look at current events with Ladies of Another View at 4:30. Go down the road with Joel at 5:30. Watch No Apologies with Becker at 9. Cap off your night with No Filter with Debbie at 10. Beck News. Real people, real news.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Welcome back to No Apologies on Beck. We are going to do more prognostications, predictions for 2021. We just heard Lori's, some of Lori's, and now we're going to hear some of mine. So,
Okay, go for it.
yes. Okay. Some in the financial realm,
Okay.
right? The Dow, I'm saying, is going to peak out at 32,000.
All right.
Yep.
And your
right
reasoning
now it's
behind
at
that is?
right now it's at 30,500. So what I'm predicting is because it's been doing wonderfully, doing great, but I think that it's going to kind of stall out, and because we already have built in the vaccines,
Right.
we already have built in the impression that there will be a divided government between Republicans and Democrats, and I think everything's already cooked in. So now what comes is going to be some concerns. There's going to be some glitches. We're going to see glitches, and it's going to stall out instead of continuing to go boom, 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 boom. Stall out, 32,000, probably start to drop after that.
Okay.
Okay, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently at 27,656. I think it's going to easily surpass $32,000. Bitcoin.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because I think that people that are following the markets are recognizing that the dollar is propped up, and we had Eugene Grainer on recently.
Sure.
So what happens is if the dollar loses value, things like gold, Bitcoin, land, other things go up in value. I think our dollar's propped up, and as things play out and stabilize with COVID, with the Biden presidency, the dollar is going to start to take a tumble. And Bitcoin has gone up 274% in the last year.
Wow.
Yeah, Ethereum has been much higher, something on the order of 400%.
Wow.
So these are cryptocurrencies. So I think Bitcoin goes up above 32,000. Gold. So I'm picking, I don't know why, call me Nostradamus. 32 is the magical number. Dow peaks at 32,000. Bitcoin surpasses 32,000. Gold surpasses 3,200. Right now it's at 1878.
You think it's going to nearly
1,800.
double?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
Yep.
All right, we'll remember that later.
I know, we're going to see. We're going to see. Next, I think the Fed is going to start to tease up interest rates in Q4, the fourth quarter of 2021. And I think that's going to be the start of further interest rates in 2022. And I think that will be the trigger that if we do peak out in the Dow around 32,000, it starts to tumble when they start raising interest rates, because that's the signal of what may come. Now, it may not. I've been wrong on these things before where I'm expecting, because the numbers are what do they call them? I don't know. The numbers, the metrics aren't there, but somehow it's still propped up. So I think that when the Fed raises rates, that's going to cause things to accelerate in a negative fashion.
It's interesting that you're choosing these financial things and not all necessarily, some good, but some just artificial.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's go politics.
Okay.
I think that we will see something happen where BLM, Antifa, and those other extremist folks completely turn on Biden and Harris.
Really?
Yes. Because Orange Man Bad is gone. Biden-Harris realized that essentially it was a red wave outside of the presidency.
Right.
Didn't work for them. If they do it again, they're going to get crushed in 2022. They're going to pull away from the whole BLM far left rhetoric, and BLM will go after anyone.
Right.
There is no my
Right.
side, your side.
Right.
They are, you do what we want.
Or else.
Or else. And they're going to go after
So how about
Biden-Harris.
Antifa, which is kind of loosely associated with that same
Yeah,
style
Antifa
of-
doesn't seem so directly politically oriented, but I think that they will not refrain at all from doing anything that might hurt a Biden presidency. For
Okay.
instance, they're going crazy during Trump's presidency
Right.
to cause chaos, which
Right.
hurts Trump.
purposely.
If they were concerned about Biden, they would pull back on that. I don't think they're going to do that. So I think
That
they
makes
will,
sense.
but I think primarily BLM.
Really
and the
interesting
other,
that BLM would turn on a
that's my,
vice president of
Mhm.
color. That's interesting. That is a very
They don't
interesting.
care.
They don't care.
They do not care. It's not about color for them. It's
Right.
about ideology.
Yep, exactly.
Any person of color who doesn't agree with them, who is more right-leaning, is an Uncle Tom. Any female who doesn't agree with them and is right-leaning has the
Candace Owens.
what's the phenomenon when you're
Munchausen's.
no, that's a good one though. But when you're kidnapped, it's the Sweden, Switzerland,
You're
Finland.
The captor.
Doesn't matter.
I know
Let's
what you're
move on.
talking
Okay.
about, though. I know what you're talking
Um,
about. That's Stockholm syndrome.
Syndrome. Thank you,
That's
Mr.
right.
Producer. Not
you.
a country, but a city within
Right.
a country. Okay, tied with that,
Okay.
I think AOC is going to crash and burn.
Finally.
I predict her meteoric rise is going to come plummeting down
Due to the assistance from somebody else?
due to her she is an ideologue all the way. Far, far, far left. She's like a chihuahua that is going to grab on someone's pant leg no matter what. Again, just like BLM. She's the same. And the people that are the politicos, the people that are establishment, realize that her way was interesting. It got a lot of press,
But they will have had enough
but it
of
will
her.
lose elections.
Got it.
She's out.
Interesting.
She's done
Will she be replaced by another meteoric rise from somebody who is less
Well,
than
sure, the media loves the left. They're
Yeah.
going to find their new star.
Yeah.
They're going to absolutely find
somebody equally vapid, probably?
someone that they can control, I'm sure.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Next,
Mhm.
COVID will resurge. We'll have another spike
I do
of
not disagree with that.
COVID in 2021.
Fall? Summer?
I think all these are guesses.
Right.
But that just feels like a total wild guess. I think it'll be late spring, summer, or early fall. And part of that is the nature of things, but we could hope that we have herd immunity and it's not going to come back. The problem is the mutations that we're seeing and how transmissible the mutated virus is in the UK and South Africa, we've spoken about on this program. You can't contain that. I mean, if we learned anything from COVID is you do what you want, you can't contain it.
Right.
And so I am concerned that that's going to cause another spike. And the question is then, do we go from tolerating, now some of us never did tolerate, but a lot of the populace tolerating things like masking and all of the heavy government interference, do we go from tolerating that because we just need to get through this crisis? Boom, another one comes. Do we now accept it? Is that Dr. Mateo, who's, I think he's with Sanford, he's somehow helping the Department of Health, indicated on a discussion on a Zoom call one time that this is basically, we need to be looking at Asian countries where this is the normal. You mask, you're mask. And so my concern is if we have another wave, especially if it's with a mutated virus, do we now fall in line that this is how we live?
Don't you think there would be backlash? At some point, at what point do people say, nopey, nope, no more?
That is a good question, Lori.
That's not going to happen in 2021.
Let me ask you, a year ago, if you had said what would take place across America, even in North Dakota, you would have said, no, there's going to be backlash. People are not going to tolerate that. But yet when it's predicated on a mass media promotion of hysteria and fear, and then you've got the politicians buying into that, never let a good crisis go to waste. Rahm Emanuel and Saul Alinsky before him, they keyed on, and politically speaking, it's brilliant. Never let a crisis go to waste, and that's what they're doing here, expanding power. So yes, as much as, and this has happened over and over and over with regard to politics, with regard to freedom, people would say, well, that'll never happen, people won't stand for it. But yet, if you go backwards, that has happened over and over and over, and the people allow it, the people stand for it, and it encroaches in like a frog boiling in water, ever so slowly, you give up that freedom.
Yep, exactly.
That almost sounded like a rant.
It was almost the rant with his prognostication. Very, very true. Any other final?
I'm done prognosticating.
That's it?
Well, I think Tesla's going to double again.
Oh.
Yeah, stocks.
Okay, good to know. All right, so now he's giving, these are not stock advices. This is not stock advice.
I don't know,
but
I consider advice.
These are good guesses.
If you take my advice, then you deserve to lose your money, I guess.
Right. Okay, when we come back, we're going to tackle the Hunter Biden debacle when we return.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
In southwestern and south central North Dakota, on any given day at any given moment, a Dakota Community Bank and Trust customer is logging in or signing on to do their online or mobile banking. We believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service in-house and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our customers anywhere, like here or here, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
My wife was diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's. We talked about it and we kind of decided we'd be a little bit proactive and try to start making provisions. So we started looking here and Eventide worked out to be pretty much the perfect answer. I guess I didn't expect it to be so nice. The staff here were terrific. We enjoy it.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running, no matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire, we keep the tough going.
The professionals at Superior Glass provide residential and commercial glass installation and repair services in central and western North Dakota. Superior Glass is your source for stained glass projects, mirrors, windows, touchless and automated entry solutions. Stop by and see us at 3323 East Broadway in Bismarck or call us at 701-258-5600. Superior Glass, where you get superior service for less. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome back to No Apologies on Beck, your after-hours oasis of sanity. I'm your host, Rick Becker, co-host Lori Hintz. We're up next with something besides predictions.
Yes, this is actually facts that nobody knows. We're going to talk about Hunter Biden and how amazing it is that nobody knows anything about anything that Hunter Biden has done. How does that happen? How exactly does that happen?
So, a couple things, a couple points I have on this. Number one, this is very little to do with Hunter Biden specifically.
Right.
I mean, if that man is messed up and has addiction problems and his life's a wreck, this is not to make light of that. But it appears that it involves his father quite a bit, and that is important to know, especially when that person is president and especially when it deals with foreign nations.
Right.
The other thing that's very important, we're going to hit more on, is the aspect that we need to talk about these things because the mainstream media is not. And this is what we've seen. You know, the older I get, the more it is sort of underscored. This is the case, that we see presidents come, we see various politicians come, and it is so double standard as far as what they cover, what they're willing to say, what they're willing to cover. And so a lot of this stuff is being swept under the rug. We need to bring it up. And so we are going to talk about Hunter Biden because of his father.
Now, you actually, in this day and age, have to have an alternate source of news in order to even get any information about Hunter Biden, because the press has successfully squashed this story to such an extent that a lot of people don't even know anything about Hunter Biden and don't care because they've never heard anything about it. And particularly, the thing that you need to do to get information is you have to get off Facebook and Twitter because they're completely censored. And what I like actually about this year, I like the fact that finally you're seeing the pop-ups on things on Facebook, you're seeing the pop-ups on things on Twitter, so it's obvious to people finally that they're actually suppressing this information. But for a long time, information has been out there on FBI, on Hunter's communications, the emails, the laptop, all of it, and you do not see it on mainstream media anyway, nor have you for a year. Nothing.
Right. Well, and part of this, this really stems back to a situation in which Hunter had allegedly left his computer at a computer repair shop with all of this information on it, all of these emails. And I think we have a graphic. The New York Post put that up. New York Post gets ribbed by the mainstream media quite a bit because they cover things that they won't, which means covering a Democrat fairly and transparently.
This article, though, was squashed on an epic scale. Hunter Biden introduced his father, then Vice President Joe Biden, to a top executive at a Ukrainian energy firm. Less than a year before, the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company, according to emails obtained by the Post. So this is what's in this article. The never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Pozharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma. You've heard that name maybe once or twice. Maybe you've never heard of Burisma before, but Burisma is big. Allegedly, it sent Hunter Biden, it was sent to him on April 17th, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma Forum. Now, this is the guy who got a reported salary of $50,000 a month.
Yep.
$50,000.
And he has no experience.
Zero experience.
Zero experience.
With anything having to do with anything particular to Burisma. So,
yep. Son of a vice president. That's his qualification.
Well, and that's it. Well, and then the big thing happens a little later on. Less than 8 months after this, Pozharsky thanked Hunter Biden for the introduction to his dad. The then vice president admittedly pressured Ukrainian President Poroshenko. So this is Poroshenko and Prime Minister Yatsenyuk into getting rid of the prosecutor general.
Right.
I love this video.
Now, there's a video, right. And I saw this video before any of this other stuff came out. And I was watching the video, I'm thinking, that seems improper.
Very improper.
I can't believe he's bragging about this. Then I hear about the Hunter Biden stuff, the Burisma stuff, how intertwined it is, how they are basically making money.
Yeah, they're
off of
connected.
it.
Yeah, this is like
So
pay
let's
for
play
play
that
type
clip.
stuff. We'll play it.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
There you have it, out of his own mouth. It's phenomenal, really, that he even said that.
How full of himself and cocky he is with, displaying that power.
Yeah.
Son of a...
Gravitas.
Yes.
Shokin said at the time of his firing in March of 2016 that he had made specific plans to investigate Burisma.
Yep. That
included interrogations and other crime investigation procedures into all members of the executive board, including Hunter Biden.
Yep. The email
of
said, for instance, Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure. And that's just one of many, many emails. And again, not covered by the media.
The media has never stopped censoring this. They haven't even stopped censoring it. You would think at some point it wouldn't matter anymore. They think that Biden got elected, so you would think that they would just let it all go. No. There's no information out there about it. You just can't find it. You cannot find it. They suppressed that Post story. They suppressed absolutely everything to do with Hunter Biden because of the fear of it damaging a Biden presidency.
Right. I just wish we could get unbiased reporting. Let people be biased if they want to on how they interpret it, but just give people the facts, and we just don't get that. I don't know the last time that we did.
Yeah, let them choose. All right, when we come back, we'll delve a little bit deeper into the Hunter Biden thing. We'll be right back.
Howdy folks, it's the Caroline Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hay-Boston breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous Caroline burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spool-rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Yeah. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the game. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
For the greatest selection and full menu offering, it's the Four Seasons Restaurant and Ice Cream Parlor in Garrison. Succulent sandwiches, big breakfasts served all day, and delicious desserts. Easy access in and out for campers and RVs. The Four Seasons Restaurant at the top of Main Street, Garrison.
With 68 years of experience serving our members, Hometown Credit Union is the smart choice for all your banking needs in Colm, Ashley, Hazleton, and now our brand new location in Lincoln. We offer auto, home, personal, and agricultural loans, CDs, IRAs, safety deposit boxes, checking and saving accounts, and more. Be sure to check out our convenient drive-through ATM as well. For great value and small town service, look no further than Hometown Credit Union.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Welcome back to No Apologies on Beck. We're still talking about the Bidens.
And not just Hunter Biden either. I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing as you said that. I'm thinking, you know what? It's the whole family. There is not just one Biden with a checkered past and a problem. That seems like there's a great deal of them in the family. There's a niece, there's a brother-in-law, there's a brother of Joe Biden himself, and then you've got Hunter, of course, in the class all on his own, just making gobs of money for doing nothing.
Yeah.
So
let's flip up a graphic here we have of the CNN story. This is where it really broke with Mark Levin, and we started seeing some attention to it. But then, again, it was actively swept under the rug. And then I think one thing that's super interesting is the computer store repair owner.
Right.
Sues Twitter. Now, the reason this is worthy of commentary is because, again, Twitter and other social media and regular mainstream media are changing the course of the discussion, of the conversation, and they are demeaning and putting, doubt on anyone who goes against the narrative that they want. So this poor guy has to sue Twitter for defamation.
Right, and all he did, and what he ended up doing is then he, of course, made a copy of the hard drive and then saved that, and then it went to the FBI in December, and nothing. It just kind of languished there, which was really troubling because then, of course, people like me are like, okay, why is the FBI not acting on that? That's very troubling to me. So, but it's being suppressed by the press, so they probably figured, all right, we got cover. We got cover. Nobody knows about it anyway, so we'll not worry about it. It's dangerous. All
but
dangerous.
I think that's a big red flag.
It is.
When you have people suing the media companies for defamation.
Yeah.
That is troubling, and that goes to what we've been saying for these last two segments.
Right.
Is That's where the problem lies, in what we are aware of, what we're told, what we understand.
I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, but Section 230. I mean, this would take care of a great deal of the problem
And that's
without
the
with just
liability.
taking away the liability, just taking away the protections for these media companies to do what they are doing in terms of. And as an aside, if you really want to hurt those media companies, leave them. Don't follow them, don't post on them, move elsewhere, don't give them any clicks, don't give them any attention, starve the beast. That's my advice.
Right. Okay, Bobulinski.
Okay, so Tony Bobulinski shows up, and I watched it on Fox News when he was on live, and he has an amazing, perfect testimony of exactly what happened, and he debunks all of the lies and the false narratives going out there. So we'll run a little clip so you can see Tony Bobulinski.
On May 2nd, 2017, the night before Joe Biden was to appear at the Milken Conference, I was introduced to Joe Biden by Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. At my approximately hour-long meeting with Joe that night, we discussed the Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
He just laid it all out in perfectly succinct language and said exactly what his relationship was with Hunter
And he
Biden.
clarifies, because when we look at what the Chinese did with Burisma and Hunter Biden, it doesn't make any sense from a financial standpoint. But this Bobulinski guy just goes right out and says, it wasn't about them gaining financially, it was about them gaining access. Meaning political power. That's what the Chinese did through Hunter, through Burisma, to have access to Joe Biden.
Exactly. And access they got. And he was just straight out, honest about it. He said, we got access, and here's when, and here's where, and what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So the... Do you happen to know, I haven't heard any recent stories, what is the FBI doing anything with it? Are they just sitting on it?
I don't think so. I think they're just letting it sit, that's the troubling part to me, is that there does not seem to be any movement on this at this point. So that's really worrisome.
Yeah, that is bothersome, and especially in light of how we saw the FBI was involved when Obama was president in the Trump campaign. How we saw that the FBI was involved when it came to trying to essentially take Trump out as an effective president instead of, again, doing their job, being unbiased, faithful to the Constitution. Instead, they're showing an allegiance to a political party or a political candidate.
Right. We have one more video clip to share with you, too, and I'll just let this one roll on its own, too.
I just want to deal in fact, because there is so much speculation out there, and there is zero evidence that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden did anything wrong here.
We should note, again, and you and I have said this in the air many times, there is no evidence that Joe Biden was, involved in any wrongdoing.
Of course, I want to note that there is no evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden has done anything wrong.
I just want to reiterate.
And let's be clear for the viewers.
There is no evidence Biden did anything wrong.
I'll note again, because it's important.
There is I repeat, no.
There is no evidence that either Biden did anything illegal.
There's been no evidence. There was no evidence.
There's no evidence. There is no evidence.
There is not an iota of evidence.
No evidence Biden did anything wrong.
There's really
no evidence
that Joe Biden
did anything wrong.
Nobody's ever accused there's no
evidence whatsoever that Joe
Biden did
anything
wrong. Got that?
Joe Biden did nothing wrong.
Hunter Biden did nothing wrong. Biden's secret emails.
A really fishy story.
The Post claimed that the emails were found on a laptop computer that was brought to a repair shop in Delaware in the spring of 2019.
The FBI is now investigating whether those alleged Hunter Biden emails are actually connected to a larger foreign intelligence operation.
They may be related to a foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence operation.
For all we know, these emails are made up.
The information found on the laptop may be part of a Russian disinformation campaign.
Part of a Russian disinformation effort.
Described by many intelligence experts as having hallmarks.
All the hallmarks
of a Russian
disinformation.
Russian disinformation.
disinformation campaign.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
Don't drag the intelligence community into this. Hunter Biden's laptop is not part of some Russian disinformation campaign. The intelligence community doesn't believe that because there's no intelligence that supports that.
There's no evidence that he'd done anything wrong.
That was a great clip.
I love that so much, too, because, you know, 2 words, talking points. Talk about a narrative that's planned and coordinated. It was just real obvious in that clip. I just love that one so much.
That says it all.
It really does.
It very, very coordinated, as you said. Well, there's going to be a lot more.
Yes,
coming
believe
up.
me, I'm sure.
It's got to come out. They can try, but they can't keep it under wraps forever.
That is very, very, very true. Now, when we come back, good news for you. We're going to do mailbag. Oh, should I do the hands? Jazz hands?
Mailbag.
Mailbag. Join us then.
Howdy, folks. It's a Caroline Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar. Sink your teeth into our famous Caroline burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spur rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the game. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather, like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county. Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
Capital City Restaurant Supply is your one-stop shop for quality restaurant products for the large to small kitchens. Commercial-grade restaurant and bar supplies, limb game processing equipment, refrigeration, dinnerware, and smallware. We sell everything including the kitchen sink from trusted manufacturers for the chef and all of us. Open to the public since 1971, we are veteran-owned and North Dakota proud. Let us take care of your restaurant and home kitchen needs today by visiting us at 1414 Interstate Loop in Bismarck or on the web at capitalcityrestaurantsupply.com.
My wife was diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's. We talked about it and we kind of decided we'd be a little bit proactive and try to start making provisions. So we started looking here, and Eventide worked out to be pretty much the perfect answer. I guess I didn't expect it to be so nice. The staff here were terrific. We enjoy it.
The professionals at Superior Glass provide residential and commercial glass installation and repair services in central and western North Dakota. Superior Glass is your source for stained glass projects, mirrors, windows, touchless and automated entry solutions. Stop by and see us at 3323 East Broadway in Bismarck or call us at 701-258-5600. Superior Glass, where you get superior service for less. Bye for now.
Now is the best time to plan for your 2021 farm equipment needs. North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing is currently offering early order savings. Take advantage of big savings on North America's broadest tillage line, including the Super Kohler Samurai and the innovative VRT Renegade, as well as the best built, best backed land rollers in the industry. Talk to your Summers dealer today or go to summersmfg.com to learn more about early order savings available on all Summers equipment.
Welcome back to No Apologies on Beck. It is time for Mailbag. Don't forget, you guys can email us and we will likely read your emails on air, at least if they're interesting.
A lot of people will also give us messages on instant message, so it's a little semi-private.
Yep.
Or, and if you don't want your name on, TV, go ahead and say that, or have a fake name. People do that a lot. They have like an alias. Or what you can do is you can write your comments on our Facebook page as well, too. By the way, if you've not yet heard, we have a YouTube channel. So if you're having buffering issues and you're watching replays and things like that, not a problem. You can go to the YouTube channel and see our
I did not know
our
that.
new archive of shows. Yeah, I'm just full of information. So let's start with mailbag to begin with. Our first one is an email that we received. This is from David, and it says, "It is clear you don't agree with the handling of COVID in the state. We have one of the highest testing rates per capita, but we do little with the information other than count. We have no real contact tracing. Those infected are simply told to tell the people they were in contact with. With all the testing, there should be research to determine why some have little or no symptoms and why some die. We can predict a national election with a poll of 1,000 contacts. In the state, we can test 10,000 a day, but only count the results of the test. The real rate of infection is probably 5 to 10 times more." So we made national news for being number one. There are a couple of reasons. Cases have dropped after mandates. There are so many infected without symptoms that many have already had it and recovered. Masks do help, and there have been scientific studies that prove it for reducing respiratory droplets. If an infected person wears a mask, so with 5 to 10 times the number of infected wearing masks, things improve. Wearing a mask to prevent getting sick is unclear. Sick people should wear masks.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to unpack.
That's
no
a
kidding.
lot.
Yeah.
And I agree, symptomatic people should wear masks. We made national news for being number one. Well, who gives two craps about that? That's
Not
just
this
the
girl.
media trying to make the Dakotas look stupid because they weren't mandated, having mandates at the time until Burgum caved.
It's possible that we were also being lumped with South Dakota. Sometimes that happens, that they confuse that, not going to lie. So.
Right. So we made news for being number one, and now New York can be number one, California can be number one because they're number one for being tyrannical.
So I could set that aside. That was not really a valid argument, just simply because it's going to be a media narrative.
Yeah, but they do bring up some good points. We should be looking at why is it that inexplicably some end up dying or have horrendous pulmonary complications, and others, and it's not just a matter of being obese or not.
Right.
There are some very healthy people that have had that, and what is it? I definitely should be researched. And
Good question.
So good points in here.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Yeah,
Thanks
for writing in.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too. I like it when people are writing sentences and it's cogent and they have their own name attached to it. So thank you, David.
Cogent, another good word.
Yep, you're welcome. All right, we're going to move on. And this one is a Facebook post, this next one. And this just says, "I really enjoyed the last episode of Selling Influence and Conflicts of Interest with Becker. I hope to see more shows from Beck News that help to create a more corrupt political environment in North Dakota. Keep up the good work." So
you know
a
what?
little, I don't know, facetious, a little satire there, a little smarmy and snarky.
I read through that once quickly, and it didn't register to me what the person was saying until I just saw it on the screen now with our viewers. And I forgot this dude that wrote that, he is a troll of epic proportions.
Oh, epic troll.
Yes. So he is saying selling influence and conflicts of interest because, according to this gentleman, the only reason I have a problem with Burgum and the mandates is because I own a bar. And he wants to see more Beck News shows that create a more corrupt political environment because we are so corrupt, Lori.
Corrupt.
Well, I hate to even say his name again. Give him more.
Just call his first name. Say his first
name. Brandon.
Okay.
So, Brandon, give us some more, man. Keep it coming. Except maybe list out, like, be more specific instead of just slinging accusations with no basis. Give some foundation for what you're saying.
It was well said, though, in a kind of a snarky manner. So I kind of appreciate that a little bit. It was.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I
sure.
do. Because people can look at that and those not discerning might take that as he was being honest rather than.
Brandon, you are an honest asshat.
All right. I've got one more. And this one I just love so much. This is super cool. This says, "Another fabulous segment, Lori and Rick. Love your choice of topics." This is from Laura Nakane Lua. "The Trump effect is pretty wonderful, isn't it? Our president is doing great things for our country and our citizens. Very grateful to him for his strong leadership, especially around religious freedom and right to life matters. And this comes after, she posted this after we did our religious freedom segment. We were talking about the wins that had been going on in the courts on religious freedom. And so she was very happy to see that too. Thank you, Laura, for that one too.
I like her last name.
Yeah, Nakanelua.
Nakanelua.
Yeah, I'm thinking
nice.
she's Hawaiian.
Right.
From Hawaii. So.
Melakaliki Maka is Hawaiian's way of saying Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I'm early.
We're past that. Yeah.
I'm early or I'm late.
You're late.
All right. So yes, keep it coming, folks. Hey, listen, another thing. If you have issues with what we are talking about or our positions, lay them out for us. You never know. You may get invited on to be a guest.
Sure.
I'd love to have people that disagree with us but can do so in a civil manner and have even just a modicum of logic behind their positions.
That's the beauty of having our show and not having a lot of rules.
Yeah.
We can bring people on who would like to be on television and state their point factually and in a concise manner, and we would love to have you on the show.
Yeah, we will absolutely have you on the show. I suppose we should do one more.
Okay.
Yeah, let's bring up our last email. I was very reluctant to because this guy is another interesting person.
Well, this is the interesting part of it, is that he doesn't, in this letter, in this email that we got, doesn't seem to be addressing the television show at all, and more is trying to kind of troll a legislator from the western part of the state because it's titled something about the nutty hairdresser. So unless you are a hairdresser or I am a hairdresser, I'm pretty sure that he's not referencing us, which is
he's referencing
out
another legislator, and this person likes to do that, and he always does ad hominems, which means a personal attack. Because again, the problem with the left is that they will go after you, but it's not for the substance. It's for the quality or what they want to perceive or what motives they import to you. Not that you have specifically said, but there's nothing about the actual statements, the actual content, and this is what this guy does all the time. So anyway, bring him, keep bringing him. We are going to see you next time on No Apologies. We're going to be hitting some interesting things.
We are. We're going to talk property taxes, and we have a very special guest with that. So
do.
Join us next time.
Beck News brings you real people and real news. Every weekday on KNDB, KNDM, and KRDK. Start your evening with the Dr. Duke Show at 4. Take a fresh look at current events with Ladies of Another View at 4:30. Go down the road with Joel at 5:30. Watch No Apologies with Becker at 9. Cap off your night with No Filter with Debbie at 10. Beck News. Real people, real news.